Once upon a time, there was a group of friends who gathered around a Ouija board for some spooky fun. They dimmed the lights and lit some candles, ready to summon some spirits. At first, everything seemed to be going well. The group asked questions and the planchette moved across the board to spell out answers. But then, something strange started to happen. As the night wore on, the Ouija board began to insult the people using it. The planchette spelled out crude remarks, calling the group members names and making fun of their appearance. At first, the friends were shocked and offended. They couldn't understand why the Ouija board would be so mean. But as they continued to use it, they started to feel a strange sense of anger and resentment building inside them. The insults became more and more vicious, and soon the group was arguing with each other, each blaming the others for the Ouija board's behavior. They couldn't bring themselves to stop using it, though something about the board had them hooked. As the night wore on, things only got worse. The insults turned into threats, and the group members found themselves feeling genuinely scared. They tried to say goodbye and end the session, but the planchette refused to move. It took a powerful jolt of electricity to knock the Ouija board out of commission. The friends were left shaken and disturbed, unable to understand what had just happened. As the group of friends continued to use the Ouija board and insulted by it, they grew increasingly frustrated and angry. One of them suggested that they try to insult the board back, hoping that it would somehow make it stop its hurtful behavior. They all agreed and began to hurl insults at the board. At first, nothing seemed to happen, but then they noticed that the planchette began to move erratically, as if the board itself was reacting to their words. As they continued to insult the board, the planchette began to spell out words that were not insults, but rather expressions of sadness and despair. The group was taken aback. They had never seen anything like this before. Slowly, the board spelled out a message: "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I'm just so lonely and sad." The friends were stunned. They had never thought about the Ouija board having feelings before. But now, as they looked at the board, they saw it in a different light. It was no longer a malevolent force trying to harm them, but rather a lonely entity desperately seeking their attention. Feeling sorry for the Ouija board, the group members apologized and tried to make amends. They asked the board why it was so sad, and it spelled out a story about being left alone in a dusty attic for years, ignored and forgotten. Moved by the board's story, the friends decided to take it home with them and give it a place of honor in their living room. They promised to visit it often and to treat it with the respect it deserved. As they left the room, they heard a soft whisper that seemed to say, "Thank you." If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider liking the video and subscribe to be notified of freshly baked, frightfully generic stories.